Are you ready?
Yes.
Time is yours. 1, 2, 3.
Lesson 6. Percy Buttons. I have just moved to a house in Bridge Street. Yesterday, a beggar knocked at my
Knock
door.
that.
Knocked
Baca
that
tak?
at my door.
Knock that my door.
Knocked that
No, no,
my
no. A beggar knock that my door.
a beggar knocked at my door. He asked me for a meal and glasses of beer.
And a glass of beer.
And a glass of beer. In return for this, the beggar stood on his head and sang songs. I, I gave him a meal. He ate the food and drank the beer. Then he put a piece of cheese in his pocket and went away. Later, a neighbor told me about him. Everybody knows him.
Everybody knows him.
Everybody knows him. His name is Percy Buttons. He calls at every house in the street once a month and
Once a month.
once a month,
Not a month. Once a month.
once a month, and always asks for a meal and a glass of beer. Lesson 7. Too late. The plane was late, and detectives were
And
waiting.
detectives.
And detectives
Yes-nya kan?
yes, were waiting at the airport all morning. They were expecting a valuable parcel of diamonds from South Africa. A few hours,
A few hours.
a few hours earlier, someone had told the police that the thieves would try to steal the diamonds. When the plane arrived, some of the detectives were waiting inside the
Some of detectives.
some, some of the detectives were waiting inside the main building while others were waiting on the airfield. Two men took the parcel off the plane and
And carried it.
carried it into the customs house, while two detectives were keeping guard at the door. Two others
Bukan open it. Opened.
opened the parcel. To their surprise, the precious parcel was full of stones and sand. Lesson 8. The best and the worst. Joe, Joe Sanders
Joe Sanders.
Joe Sanders has the most beautiful garden in our town. Nearly everybody enters for the nicest garden competition each year,
Each year.
each year, but Joe wins every time. Bill Fritz' garden is larger than Joe's. Bill works harder than Joe and grows more flowers and vegetables, but Joe's garden is more interesting. He has made neat beds and has built a wooden bridge over a pool. I like gardens too, but don't like hard
I do not like.
I do not like hard work. Every year I enter for the garden competition too, and I always win a little prize for the worst garden in the town.
Yeah.
Lesson 9. A cold welcome. On Wednesday evening, we went to the town hall. It was the last day of the year, and a large crowd of people had gathered under the town hall clock. It would strike 12 in 20 minutes. Time. 15 minutes passed and then at 5:15 at 5 to 12 the clock stopped. The big minutes hand did not
The big
move.
minute hand. The big minute.
Hand
Hand atau head?
hand HAND
Hand.
hand
Head itu kepala.
hand did not move. We waited and waited, but nothing happened. Suddenly, someone shouted, "It's 2 minutes past 12. The clock has stopped." I looked at my watch. It was true. The big clock refused to welcome the new year. At that moment, everybody began to laugh
Began.
began to laugh and sing.
Yeah.
Lesson 10. Not for jazz. We have an old musical instrument. It is called a clavichord. It was made in Germany in 1000
Hmm. 19. 16 kan? 1961.
1961. Our our clavichord is kept
So, no, 18 ya?
81.
1981.
1981. Our clavichord is kept in the
Escape ya?
is keep keep that
Uh,
keep in
escape ini. Escape in.
kept in the living room. It has belonged to our family for a long time. The instrument was bought by my grandfather many years ago. Recently,
Recently.
recently, it was damaged by a visitor. She tried to play just on it. She stuck the keys too hard and two of the strings were broken. My father was shocked. Now we are not allowed to touch it.
Allow it.
Allow it. Allow it
Touch
to
it.
touch it. It is being repaired by a friend.
Repair.
Repaired by a friend of my father's.
Okay. Next one. Sampai 15 saja.
Lesson 11. One good turn deserves another.
Research.
Deserves another. I was having dinner at the restaurant when Harry still came in. Harry worked in law-
No. Work din aja.
worked in a lawyer's office years ago, but he is now working at the bank. He gets a good salary, but he always borrows money from his friends and never pays it back. Harry saw me and came and sat at the same table. He has never
Borrow it.
borrowed money from me. While he was eating, I asked him to lend me £2. To my surprise, he gave me the money immediately. I have never borrowed any money from you, Harry said. So now you can pay for my dinner.
Good.
Lesson 12. Goodbye and good luck. Our neighbor, Captain Charles Ellison, will sail from Portsmouth tomorrow. We shall meet him at the harbor early in the morning. He will be in his small boat, Topsail. Topsail is a famous little boat.
Famous.
Famous,
Famous.
famous little boat. It has sailed across the Atlantic many times. Captain Allison will set out at 8 o'clock, so we shall have plenty of time. We shall see his boat and then we shall say goodbye to him. He will be away for 2 months.
2 months.
2 months. We are very proud of him. He will take part in an important race across the Atlantic.
Okay.
Lesson 13. The Greenwood Boys. The Greenwood Boys are a group of popular singers. At the present, they are visiting all parts of the country. They will be arriving here tomorrow. They will be coming by train, and most of the young people in the town will be meeting them at the station. Tomorrow evening, they will be singing at the Workers' Club. The Greenwood Boys will be staying for 5 days. During this time, during this time, they will give 5 performances. As usual, the police will have a difficult time. They will they will be trying to keep order. It is always the same on these occasions. Lesson 14. Do you speak English? I had an
I had an amusing experience.
I had an amusing
No, I had an.
I had an I had an amusing experience last year. After I had left a small village in the south of France, I
Tuh,
dro- France.
Chris, setelah ini.
I drove onto
Istilahnya
the
kamu.
next town. On the way,
Oh sini.
a young man waved to me.
Ah,
I stopped and
kasih
he
kayu.
asked for he asked me for a lift. As soon as he had got into the car, I said good morning to him in French, and he replied in the same language. Apart from a few words, I do not know any French at all. Neither of us spoke during the journey. I had nearly
Reached the town.
reached the town when the young man suddenly said very slowly, "Do you speak English?" As I soon learned, he was English himself. Lesson 15. Good news. The secretary told me that Mr.
Farmsworth.
Harmsworth would see me. I felt very nervous when I went into his office. He did not look up from his desk when I entered. After I had sat down, he said that business was very bad. He told me that the firm could not afford to pay
Such a large salary.
large salaries. 20 people had already left. I knew that my turn had come. Mr. Harmsworth, I said in a weak voice. Don't interrupt, he said.
Don't interrupt.
Don't interrupt.
Don't interrupt aja.
Don't
Don't interrupt.
interrupt, he said. Then he smiled and told me I would
Receive.
receive an extra 100,
100.
100 pounds a year.
Okay. Finish.
Finish.
That's good. Kamu saya dapat